Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. A couple days ago, I did a short on installing these attic lights. Today, I'm going to do a bit longer video on how to do it yourself. There's a couple ways of doing, well, there's more than a couple ways of doing this, but all of them include going up on a ladder, attaching these boxes. These are handy boxes. Attaching the handy boxes and then pulling wire while you're on the top of a tall ladder and doing all the work up there. What I did was do all the work down here and on the floor there, and then pull the whole thing up just like you pull Romex. To start my chain of boxes, I wired up the very last box, which this will represent for right now. All I did was knock out one of the knockouts, put in a clamp, and let me show you how I wired that. The wiring is real simple on this one. It's just 14 gauge Romex. It's tightened down in the clamp. The white common goes to the chrome screw. The black, which has the juice, goes to the brass colored screw. And the ground, you use a ground screw and screw that tightly to the back. That's it for this. And then you screw down your lamp holder like that and then move on to the next one. With this box completely done, I came over here. I had a coil of Romex coming out of this end. What I did was just place that right on this mark that I made on the floor. I had the Romex coming out of here. I just put this weight on the Romex and pulled the Romex over. This is exactly 8 feet right here, and that's another 6 inches. I put a box right here, pulled the Romex about to that line, cut it off, put it through a clamp on the next box, and with the box still right on that 8-foot mark, I tightened it down and then brought it back over to the bench. And at the bench, what I did was peel back the Romex, strip the ends, do the same thing on another piece of wire that's coming from a roll. So I got all of these ends here. Then I made these pigtails. What I did was just cut a 6-inch piece of Romex, peel the wires out of there, and strip both ends. Then what you need to do is take all of the blacks and twist them together. Do the same thing with the whites and the same thing with the ground. And there you have it. Now, these hooks, of course, would be hooked up to the back of the lamp holder, and the lamp holder would be screwed onto this. Then I would bring this over there, put it on the floor, and do the same thing again until I have all 4 of my lights on there and a wire coming out the far end. I would leave it connected to that wire coming out the far end because I need to run that wire to where it's going to connect to the electricity. Another thing to note is that this is parallel wiring. If one of the lamp holders was to go bad or something, the other ones would still work. If you were to wire this in series, that would not be the case. You could see it in the short. I had everything laying here. I just grabbed it, brought it over here, and what I needed to do was go up and over that bracing right there. Then I could put it up and over the top of the truss there, come down, bring it up, bring it over the top of the truss there, and do the same thing down here. Then I measured to the center of this second one here and screwed that one in, then pulled this one over and screwed that into the center there, and then I worked my way back that way. Doing it this way, I didn't have to do any wiring up there. I spent a brief time on the top of the ladder screwing the boxes in place and stapling the wire to the purlin up there. Way less time up there than if I had to do any wiring up there. Once the last one was in place, I just brought my wire down, and in this case, I got up on top of the ladder over here, pulled the wire down, pulled it over, and then went down to about here. At some point, there's going to be a sub panel here, and I'll have a box coming out of the side and some EMT going up into the attic up there. I'll just feed that wire down through that and put a switch right here. But for now, I wired a plug to it, and it's plugged into the remote control circuit here. We'll show you that right away. And there you have it. The reason for these lights is that once I put the ceiling up here, it's going to be pitch black up there, and I got to get up there. I got to kneel on some boards and get all the way down into here and blow in the insulation. Also, if there's ever any problems up there, I'm going to need to have some light. But for the most part, those are going to be abandoned up in the attic up there and rarely, if ever, used. This building has its trusses 8 foot on center, which is why the lights are 8 foot on center. If your center is different than that, obviously you would make your marks on the floor different than that. And if you have a longer area, you would obviously put more lights in it. But I think you can get the idea from what I showed you so far. I'll be doing this final wiring once I get the box in place over here. A little bit later today, I'm going to be running that big heavy cable up from the box, across, and over to where this box is going to be. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.